Alright, just black bordered quad chimps without a tutorial for the first time, so I'm gonna make this video because I have not seen this strategy on YouTube yet. I'm gonna start with two desperados about equidistant from the paths on both sides. Like this opening more than the four dart monkeys, personally. Come on, there we go. Okay, this gets you 6, 7, and 8, like without really having to do anything, which is nice. Okay, next tower, right after round 8, is going to be a druid over here on the right. I'm going to try to get a black border in this video, but just did it, and it's a pain in the ass, so if I have to restart, then so be it. But it is black borderable, you're willing to restart a couple of times. Or follow the instructions perfectly, but like, that's less fun. Okay, so Druid does not go in the corner, but up a little bit. That's going to let it go under a village later on. Okay. 9 should not be a problem. And then... Yep, okay. Next tower is going to be a ninja, and that's going to go right down here. Right, basically as soon as I can afford it. Right before the rush at the end of the round. Okay, so Ninja, again, not quite in the corner because that's a bad use of its range. I'll scoot it down. Okay, that's easy. 15 is the first round where, like, there's some RNG involved, but this is, I'm going to say, like 80% consistent if you're trying to black border it. So put sub right up at the top, equidistant. Get range, set it to strong. And then twin guns, like halfway through 14 in anticipation of 15. There we go. Alright. Fingers crossed. This is a good run, and I get 15 first try. Pew, 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 pew. Got it. Okay. Next, Brickle's going to go down at the bottom here, right before the final rush on round 18. Love getting down heroes mid-round or towards the end of the round because you basically get a free level. Brickle, bottom, equidistant from the two paths. Boom. Alright, so now basically leveling up the sub to be the main damage dealer up through round 40, but there are a few retargeting things you gotta do in between now and then. So get the range, so I can now see the entire map, and then I'm just gonna go one at a time for the next couple of rounds, so I don't forget anything. Okay. 22. Upgrading this to Thorn Swarm and changing this from strong to first. Strong targeting is basically just bad across the board on this map because it's so easy to leak balloons. You always want to be targeting first. But this should handle 22. Come on. Yes, okay. Now 23. This is not strictly necessary, but I like to use Naval Tactics when the light come out just for my own sanity, basically. Do that, get the boost, and we're good. Okay, Ninja plus sub takes out that camo. Okay, now for 25, what I've found to be most consistent is every now and then a balloon will leak on 25. I'm going to try it without putting the bomb there and see if that works. Really might set these guys to strong. That would probably handle it. Yeah, okay. Alright, cool. So set those to strong for 25. It's actually the first time I tried that, but it worked. 26, I'm going to do another Naval Tactics for the Zebras, which times out pretty well from 23. Go. She's on the first Zebra. Okay. 27, you can get the middle path upgrade here. And this completely owns 27. Which is marvelous. Hard Thorns and Anticipation 28. Okay, now, as soon as the first one goes down, first lead goes down, bomb shooter, drop it right here. And then set targeting to strong, and this is the only tower that will be targeted to strong this game. Okay. That's the hard part of the early game. Now it's pretty straightforward up until like 43. So next move, naval tactics here just to get the leads, just to be safe. Airburst starts as soon as you can afford them. Then for 33, Seeking Shuriken, get a little more range there, and then get this guy camo. Rickle does not yet have camo, but between these three towers, you got camo range for basically the bottom 3/4 of the map, which is enough to make it to getting a village that has the, you call it, camo detection upgrade, I don't know what it's called. Okay, triple guns when you can afford them, and then over here, Heart of Thunder, and that takes care of 36. Motherfucker, okay. Tried to get cute and not use naval tactics, but use naval tactics at the beginning of 36. Takes care of those first two rushes. That way you're not dependent on lightning bolt RNG. Okay, 37 should just beat. And then right before the camos come out, to be able to afford this. Which handles the camos with the range. 38, naval tactics get the lead just for sanity. Okay. 39's free. Naval tactics as soon as it's feasible. 41's free, 42's free, and then I'm going to pause and put down a bunch of new towers. Excuse me. Okay. Boom. Okay, so $6,600. Now we are setting up for the long haul. Village right in this little nook right here. Try to get it as bottom left as you can. Another village right on top of it. Right in the little notch there between the lake and the other village. Okay. 002 on both of them, and then for the lower one, jungle drums. 43, go ahead and use naval tactics. Okay, now probably the two most important placements in the entire run. This, you want to get in the double cost reduce multiplier and basically get it as perfectly centered as you can for all four cross paths, or for all four paths. So right about there. Targeting first, it's going to be first all game. Second one, a little to the top left of that. You want it to be basically centered on the top right and bottom left paths, so it can see both of those. And then, oh, yeah, right there. Okay. Next, we are going to get both of them up to 220. But I don't need to pause anymore because it's pretty easy from here until like 89. But 220 both of the ships. Good. Just enough camo to deal with 45 and 47. Good. 46 should be free. And then 47, use naval tactics to take out the ceramics at the beginning. And then this one, destroyer. So top left ship is destroyer. And then the middle dead center one will be a cannon ship here in a bit. But I'm going to take advantage of the insane amount of cash you get on 48 and 49 to get this guy straight up to an aircraft carrier. So I'm not going to upgrade the second buck yet. 48's free. 49 I've never actually lost by not using naval tactics, but I still like to use it for the ceramics just to be safe. And then right before level 50 I should be able to afford this one. Bang. Great. So 50, no longer a problem. Now for the top village, I'm going to get the radar scanner right in time for 51. Which means camos are no longer an issue for the rest of the run, basically, up until DDTs. Okay, next, upgrade this 2 times to Monkey Pirates. And I should be able to get this right in time for 54, and that makes 54, which is ordinarily a pretty tough level, in my opinion, just completely free, which is nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Alright, so this is basically the entire setup I'm going to use for the rest of the game. Now it's time to start sprinkling in support. So the first Alchemist is going to go right up here, as bottom right as possible between the lake and the village. And this is primarily going to power up the sub. Come on. Alright. Okay. 320. Second Alchemist is going to be right next to it, kind of close to the aircraft carrier. 320. And then I found that just for insurance, going ahead and preemptively putting down the third one right there, giving that just a 200 to get some extra ceramic damage is the most consistent way to get through 63. I use the abilities pretty loosely. They're not really necessary, but maybe some of them are. I haven't tried to pick apart which ones are necessary, which ones aren't. But I usually use this for 60 and then grab one of the fortified ones in 62. Okay, now for 63, the Alchemists should buff the towers enough to get all 3 of the rushes, but keep an eye out and have naval tactics ready just in case they are unbuffed for one of them. Go, that's fine. And then for the final rush, I'm going to use naval tactics anyway, just for safety. Okay. 64, same deal. Probably not necessary, but I like to snag the first fortified one. Spoilers, when the BFBs come out, I'm going to snag the first one of those too. Bang, bang. Dude, okay. Oh, now I relax a little bit, because this is like the easiest 10 levels in all of Chimps. 66 through 74. 9 levels, I guess. 8 levels. Either way, pile up cash and take a break. Enjoy the jams. I usually do naval tactics on 71, but I'm not going to this time because I want to see if it's actually necessary. I guess not. So here shortly, you're going to be able to afford the carrier flagship, and that's going to carry it through to like 82. Carrier flagship. Okay. This is just going to completely eat 75, 76, and 78. And 80 and 81 for that matter. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Easy. So one of the things I really like about this strategy is it actually has everything centered, and it's not like you have to make two different outposts on opposite sides of the map and try to play it as though it were a two-directional map. Obviously, that's very effective, and a lot of the YouTube videos sort of fit that strategy, but it just feels better having everything blasted away from the middle, in my opinion. But yeah, the 3 tier 5s I get are all like heavy damage dealers, and there's not really a lot of like strategic slowdown until like 99. It's just pump out the damage and kill everything before it can leak. Okay. Come on. 80 is basically free because the alchemists are going to town while it creeps along the path slowly. 81 looks a little scary, but is also free because nothing's fortified. Just eats it right up. 82, I like to snarf one of those and then get this upgrade as quick as possible. So now we got both ships fully powered up. Use that just for fun. Alright. Final tier 5 tower I would be building is a Prince of Darkness, I think it's called. That's going to go on the top platform of the ship, inside of both villages, and straight to a 024. That's not really necessary until like 92 or 93, but so it doesn't hurt to put down earlier, so go ahead and do it. '85, you don't need to use any abilities on. Yeah. Nice and easy. Same with 86. Just chew them up one at a time. And this is why the first targeting on everything is so important. If you start popping all of these simultaneously, then you just get like you basically turn it into a rush of Moabs that it's super easy for them to leak. 87, wait till the first one pops and then use the thing, so you get 2 full strength ones. It's easy. Now I'm going to slow it down a little bit. 88, can lose on. I didn't, but it's possible. So Moab Mine is a good way to do that one, just if you want a little extra popping. Okay, now we kind of have to micromanage the last 10 or 11 levels, but this is a really hard expert map, so be it. Okay, 89, I'm going to use naval tactics, not on the Moabs, but on the BFBs, fortified BFBs. So once those are all on screen, naval tactics will take care of them. Okay, 90, I'm going to use the spears. This is called Thunder. I'm going to plunder all 3 of the DDTs once they're on screen. I have to wait until you can see all of them before you plunder, because by the time the first one is almost off the screen. So right there. Okay. 91, I actually lost on most recently before I blackboarded it. That was my only miss. So in order to address that, what I think works best is upgrade this to a 3-2-2. So now there's 3 main damage dealing towers, 3 alchemists, and then sprinkle 1 extra alchemist up top here. And this one is just going to do the acid mixture drip as fast as possible. And then in addition to this, what I actually did on the Black Border run, just to be extra safe, was drop a Moab mine once these kind of start to intersect. That blows them all up in range of the wizard. Then it should take care of everything else. Yeah, okay. 92, we're going back to naval tactics because they're fortified, but we gotta wait until most of the beginning is taken care of. Start to get all of the heavy hitting towers once, or the... Yeah, right about now. Once all 4 of them are on screen, there's naval tactics that should take care of the rest. Yeah, okay. Okay, 93 starts to get tricky. So, again, we're going to be plundering all of the DDTs on screen, except this time, instead of 3, there are 5. So, best to take this one slow. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's actually 6. So get all those, and then it should be able to handle the rest of the fortified ones without any additional abilities. Yeah, okay. That's darkness. And I'm going to go ahead and use naval tactics on 94. I don't know if it's strictly necessary, but it fully restores by the time you need to use it again, so just go ahead and use it. Okay, now for 95, upgrading this to Monkey Intelligence Bureau. That should be all you need to take care of 95. And that's just a little extra insurance just in case the acid mixture drip isn't on a tower when it needs to be. Makes it a little less RNG dependent. Easy. 96. Again, I like doing a Moab. Actually, I'm going to try it. I don't think you need any abilities on 96, but usually I use the Moab mine just to be extra sure, basically. But it shouldn't be necessary. Yeah, okay. Not strictly necessary. Okay. Now, getting into the end game. Actually, I should have started this last round, but I'm going to put down 2 more ships. So one's going to go here. Again, try to get it where it can see both opposite paths as well as it can. It's going to be a 2-4-0. And this is actually going to target strong. Second one, just make sure it's under the 2 price reduction things, but the placement for the second one doesn't matter as much. Okay. 97 is basically completely free. Just wait until both of them are on screen and then spear them. Okay. Last Alchemist. It's going to go right here on this platform, and it is also just going to spray acid mixture drips. Okay, 98. 98, I'm going to do naval tactics and need the other abilities for 99, so that's all I'm going to use. Again, wait until about now, once all of the path is covered, because you get the most mileage out of your ability that way. Blasts the shit out of everything, and I think that's good. First try, 98. Beautiful. Okay. Next, Sniper, right here. Again, inside the double discount, but outside the range of the Alchemists, because all this needs to do is slow down DDTs like this. I put this Alchemist down for 98, which means I barely can't afford this right now, but get this as soon as possible on 99, and then get ready to start spearing DDTs, and try to get all of them. There we go, there's 99. I did a pretty bad job with the abilities right there, but it still worked. And then 100, go ahead and remove that just to get a little extra early damage, and we're going to let this come most of the way along the track while the spear harpoon things get back to full. And then once they're back to full, we'll drop a Moab mine, use naval tactics, and then just be ready for when it pops, use the spears immediately. And that's it. Hey.